Right. All right. Um. Well, we're live again. We are live again. What's the thing that I wanted to do? I wanted to go to my creator dashboard and to my stream manager. Here we go. There we are. Okay. And then I wanted to do a little stream alert on my Instagrams. All right. Let's see here. I'm working on a new card within a new card type illustration within the Hound universe. So that'll be today. There's the story. Hey, what's up, Tonal Architect? How you doing? Sorry about lying about my streaming hours and not being here yesterday. Um, I had a I had an exam I had to do. But that specific excuse you'll never hear again. Because now I'm done studying. I said I finished school and I started my own business. They say, oh, you graduated. No, I decided I was finished. Let's draw for a bit. I quit school. That was a and the reason that's an L is because that's a Kanye lyric. But it's before he turned whack, I swear. Um, no, I actually finished school. And my graduation this Friday, so I'll actually miss a Friday stream as well. Um, so I guess that's a similar excuse. It's not the exact same though, because it's not an exam. It's a graduation instead. And then that one will be just the very last school related stream absence you'll ever see on on this channel. Um, there's a school here in Denmark called the Animation Workshop. I did the computer graphic arts line of studies, course of studies at that school. Hey Max Animate, how you doing? How are you doing? I'm doing good. Just drawing. Kicking off my morning warm-ups. Now let's do another one. Feels good to close that whole studying school chapter. It's a little bit anxious as well. Right? Because like by the time you finish uni, you've been in school for, yeah, man. That's a long time. 3 years there, 3.5 there, 3 years there, 10 years there, 16 years of school, and now that's over. You dropped out and went into construction. What did you study before that? I'm sure it'll all be fine for me. It's just it's an interesting new feeling of uncertainty, right? So years of visual arts in Montreal, but you didn't like the courses. Montreal. That's too bad. You like construction more then? That's a small head. Hell no, trying to go back to school. Okay. Okay. Well, hope you get there then. You'd like to study art again? Yeah, yeah. Sheridan's good. I've heard good things about Sheridan from like any ranking list of animation schools ever. What are my plans after school? Work, make living. That would be good. I think that's plan number one. Is make living, drawing specifically. Um, it's an important part of that goal. Make living drawing. It's probably the main thing. Um, and then I think it'll be in card illustration off the bat. The few assignments I do have at the moment are card illustration. The few jobs I do have at the moment are card illustration. Um, and it's something I think I could get more jobs within. And then it's like slowly turning what I do more and more towards comics. Actually, is the current plan because I've learned how much I like drawing and how much it's kind of the thing I care about in art is drawing. And who draws a lot is comic artists. So through like generating an income in social media, um, I would like to over time pivot my career towards comics. Financial freedom through independent hustle and all that. Maybe I should start like a an MLM or something, or a course on drop shipping. I've heard that's how to achieve financial freedom as well. That's the strat. All these Instagram ads are telling me that's how to do it. Comics are a tough job to get. Okay, yeah. I mean, more than like illustration or concept art. I guess probably illustration. It must be harder than illustration because there's so much illustration and some of it doesn't require like virtuosic skill. But comics are just kind of, oh, you need to draw well. Yo, everyone. Notorious Osa. How you doing? Notorious OSA. Is it a Biggie reference? It's gotta be, right? Who else is notorious? I guess Kim is notorious as well. Doing all right. Your sleep schedule is messed up. No, don't do that to yourself. But oh heck, -2. Not completely. It's not completely fucked, but I'm like definitely 1 hour off. 1 hour off a good sleep schedule for me. Sheridan, I think. Well, it used to be. Let's go. Best animation schools in Google right now. Top 50. This is animation career review. What's going on? This is in the US. We want global. We want in the world. Thank you very much. International Animation School rankings. Wait. World, thank you very much. Gobelin, #1. Sheridan College, #2. When's this from? 2025. Animation Career Review puts my school, the Animation Workshop, at #3. But you always have to realize with these things that when they're ranking the Animation Workshop, they're ranking the animation program. And I was in the computer graphic arts program. I don't think I think it's a little bit of a different. Actually, I have no idea. Because technically, my education is animation. It says animation on the diploma, but I've been taught like 3D art, a little bit of concepting, retopology rigging. Anything you need to know to be a 3D generalist. So Sheridan number two. Number two after Gobelin. It's tough to beat the French in art education these days. Yeah. Right. But then the other thing is it's really hard to get into these schools, right? Just keep that in mind. Just be aware of that if you set your sights on it. I feel like I'm just like perpetuating the same decisions in my figure drawings. Like I'm not doing anything new these days. Maybe I should like read a book or something. Oop. A fun exercise you can try if you've never done it before is to sort of realize how much acting there is in the position of the neck and head. You can just like leave everything else in your pose and then just try drawing a couple of different like head tilts and rotations, and just notice how much that changes like the emotion in the figure, right? So this leaning counter to the rotation of the rib cage, leaning back. This has an air of like condescension to me. Then you can like lean with the reference that I'm looking at is actually following the rotation of the rib cage right now, or the tilt of the rib cage. that has like a different feeling to it, right? If you tilt the neck a lot, it can have like this air of um, confusion, or sort of like as if the character is studying you, reading you, right? Like, huh? Man. I guess what's that useful for? Well, sometimes if you just don't like the acting in a pose, but you don't want to start over completely, you can really nuance the acting just by changing the neck and the head. This feels more like inward looking and shy to me. But just like a couple seconds ago, this pose felt really confident to me, right? So this feels quite confident to me, but this feels quite shy. And you might not have those same emotions associated with it, but little changes to the neck and head can mean a lot for your acting. It's also I don't know. It's an interesting point to notice how big of a difference subtlety makes. Like, okay, I changed the tilt a little bit, like the side to side tilt a little bit and the back and forth tilt a little bit, and all of a sudden I've lost all of that shyness that I felt in this pose. It's just not there anymore. Oh man, I'm going climbing today. That's gonna be nice. It's really funny how much my mental health gets like attached to climbing in the winter months. Reese that pups, hey, how you doing? Because I'm at home drawing and or trying to draw all day, um, and climbing is my excuse to get out, right? So it's just like days where I'm climbing, good days. Days where I'm not, well, it varies. Oh man, feels bad. Feels bad, man. Just give us that three finger gap. Just give us that little bit of space around the aces before the leg cylinder starts. There's just a little bit of space here that we must not forget. We must not forget. It's always male anatomy for you. I mean, it's almost the same. You just gotta like not cover it up with extra forms. You just gotta stop before the extra forms. Making a buff character, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, just find really good reference. That's what most people do anyway. I feel like most artists, even the ones that are like recognized for being good at anatomy, most of them, and I'm saying most because some people are just like out of this world talents that know everything and can draw everything without looking at it. But most artists, even the ones that are good at anatomy, just find good reference. You're looking at refs and stuff. Fair enough. You can also you can just look at some artists whom you think stylize anatomy well. That's a different strat that I employ often. You also look on my Twitter when I do those little tutorials. Right. So yeah, I recently started posting the Instagram reels on Twitter as well. I don't know. We'll see if that does anything. Because I've just been doing like YouTube and Instagram for a while. You introduce your friend to my stuff. Oh, it's spreading. That's kind. Thanks. I'm happy you find it so useful. Just make sure to diversify. Make sure to diversify your artist teacher diet. Like, don't just go to me. Because like I definitely do my best to teach you guys correct stuff, but I'm just like one guy with one experience and one opinion. And sometimes I make mistakes. And if you diversify your artist teacher diet, you're more likely to also watch people who don't make the same mistakes. And then you can synthesize out of like a bunch of different art influences. You can synthesize the right way to do the things for you. Because like I'm just one guy who just finished my studies, like my who just finished school, art school. So I know I don't have the best answer for everything, but I just tell you guys what helped me, right? Don't trust me blindly. Don't let me be your only art influence. Take what I say and like go, does this seem to be useful? Does this piece of advice seem to be useful? If yes, then apply it. If it seems like trash, don't just assume it's good because it's coming from me. Oh no, I wanted to actually marker that. I just typed it in chat. How does that work? Can I not slash marker right now? There you go. Oh, because of the lines I use. You always talk about the Jacob way. Holy shit, I missed so many messages. I'm sorry. Because I was doing my rant. No, I'm happy to help you guys out. If the Jacob way can be of any assistance, definitely. That's part of what makes art so difficult is it's a pretty hostile learning environment. It it can be really hard to figure out what exactly or wicked learning environment, I think is actually the term. It can be hard to figure out what exactly is the success criteria for a drawing to be good. And if you don't have like measurable this is better or this is worse, it's really hard to make your own conclusions as to how to improve, right? If there's not one strict way, one yeah, one strict way where your image is better or worse, you can't just go, oh, this one factor made the image better. This one factor made the image worse because you don't have that better or worse thing to measure yourself by. Oh my god, it's your friend France. Franz Kafka. You're the friend indeed. Well, thanks for following. This is so strange. We were just talking about you. What a coinky dink. Yeah, that's kind of the joke. I would call it an improbable coincidence. Oop, I'm out of music. Um, what is we drawing? We's just drawing figures. But then when we's done drawing figures a little later, we's will be drawing this this Jenny sneaking up on this guy sort of like card illustration. Um, that's what we is going to be drawing. But right now, until I until I feel ready, we's will be drawing just figures. Well, I'm super happy to be helpful, France. I'm trying to get more card illustrations in my portfolio so that the companies that hire card illustrators will realize that I am one such. And the problem is, you can have like a bunch of shit in NDA for a long time, and currently I have some card illustration in NDA. So I figured out I have to do my own on the side as well, because my personal art is not an NDA hell and will never be an NDA hell. More character description for whom? What is that card illustration? It's just illustration for cards, you know, like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or stuff like that. Like four different ones. Nice, nice. I will take a look at it later. Now I just name dropped the most recognized titles. Mine is not for one of those. I will disclaim that right up front. You might have to control your excitement. That's just the genre of illustration. It's become like a bigger and bigger genre. There's a lot of card games these days. There's Legends of Runeterra. There is Riftbound. There's, can you believe it? There's two Riot IP living card games right now. There's Marvel Snap. There's Disney Lorcana. It's a pretty big field, um, which is why I feel like I must be able to get work in it. Well, I can do that kind of stuff. I am doing that kind of stuff, but I believe that I could do it consistently with more clients. These arms, man. Swoop, swoop, and swoop. That's way too much of a. I can't be drawing with proportions that are that off. Okay. I think Pokemon is the biggest one. Really? I thought Magic the Gathering was so much bigger. I feel like, yeah, Magic and like D&D are some of like, or maybe the two areas where I feel like the nerd revolution of mainstream content has been the strongest. Oh, actually, superhero movies, D&D, and Magic the Gathering. I feel like have really been claimed by the mainstream in a way that most nerd media doesn't get to. You're not quite balanced. I think you're not quite balanced. Magic the Gathering and D&D are eternal. Magic and then Pokemon. Okay. Interesting. Maybe I should do some Pokemon illustrations. Pokemon, from what I've seen too, is quite cool because there's such a wide style spectrum. Like I remember those, like some of the cards I had, which were back when like the new sets still had like third generation Pokemon on them. Um, must have been like late 2000s. I remember there were some of those cards were just like little plastic figurines that somebody like put in a bush and took a photo of, or like put on a beach. Draw neon green dolphin cat dog, give it helicopter wings, and call it. And it's a Pokemon. Thanks, Alwyn. Thanks. They can't all be bad, huh? This could also be a Digimon. Yeah, I mean, yes. If it evolves into like a god or like a mechanized angel or then it's a good Digimon. Like a transformer. If it evolves into a transformer, then it's a good Digimon. Or a refrigerator, yeah, yeah. Yeah. If it evolves into a Gundam, a Transformer, or like a Labubu, it's a Digimon for sure. Maybe like anything that crosses like franchise lines when it evolves becomes a Digimon. Like start as a Pokemon, then go Transformer or Gundam. So here's what you gotta realize: every design you ever do sits on the spectrum between Transformer, no, yeah, Megatron, and Labubu. It's somewhere between these two, right? Okay, case in point. This guy, far to the Megatron end of the spectrum. Pikachu almost all the way Labubu. Never end on a loss. So we make some new space for another figure. It's a good could be a good April Fools. So definitely the more mechanical, hard surface the design is, the closer it gets toward Megatron on the scale. So for example, like most of the Hound concepts I've been drawing these days are quite far Megatron-y. And then the more you get into like organic form design, uh, the more you hit sort of a Labubu end of the spectrum, right? Most creature designs are way more Labubu than Megatron. Common Rider, more Megatron than Labubu for sure. Mothra, more Labubu than Megatron. Glad I could get you a little bit. Getting the Tom Fox book, man, that's a good book. Look forward to it. It's lovely. It gets difficult at times, so you kind of have to stick with it, but I think it's so useful. I really enjoy it. Just like and draw your way through it, and if you're a real G, you make your own models on the along the way, like he said, like he says in the book. Definitely take as much time with each topic as you can. I think it'll stick better that way. Really try to deep dive. Well, so you can break it down, right? So Diva herself is quite a lot more Labubu than her mech is. Her mech is quite a lot more Megatron, although it has Labubu-isms in it. No, no, you're complicating it. It's definitely like it's one or the other. It's either Megatron or Labubu. There's no because it's all encompassing. It catches all differences in design. See ya, man. Have a good one. I could this one could that could be unironically I might put the Labubu Megatron joke just on like a TikTok or something and just never post it to Instagram. I feel like my Instagram needs to be actual useful information. I think that's a pretty good order. Bridgman is definitely like easier to read if you have some experience with different systems of form simplification already. And maybe I should read Bridgman too. I just bounce on it every time. I've read parts of a Bridgman book, but it's like, yeah. Okay. Oh man. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. I'm feeling a little bit tired, but we can give it a go. I think did it say 3.5 times 2.5 inches? I think those are the dimensions of a magic card. Oh, don't crash. I'd love it if you didn't crash right now. There you go. Please keep not crashing. Okay. That looks somewhat level. I'm a little bit uncertain of the cropping in this piece. Um, just because I'm not entirely sure of the dimensions of all the elements that are in the piece. Um, I'm not entirely sure of how what the design of his gun is going to be, for example, and I'm not entirely sure of what the background looks like yet. So with pieces like this, I often like to have a bit of like a bleed in the file in which I work that allows me to move the crop a little bit if I find that necessary. It's not going to be this big right now. I'm just waiting for Clip to um, complete this transform action. I have a load screen on my a loading bar on my screen right now. Um, but I would like to keep just like a little bit of like a gate on the side of this. Maybe just something like that. This way, if I want to move the crop a little bit later, rotate the crop a little bit back, because I have quite a rotated horizon line right now. Um, if I want to make some of these small compositional changes, I still can even quite late in the process. And then let's actually establish the perspective here. Um, yeah. I wonder which one's going to be more accurate. Okay. And Right, there it is. Um, so I need to grab you and rotate that horizon line. Awesome. That looks roughly the way I want it to. Does it work roughly the way I want it to? You're good. Right, we need one last vanishing point. But otherwise, we're good. Think something like that. I mean, yeah, that's what I want. Cool. Awesome. I kind of would like to. I kind of would like to have this as like a three value composition as well. The values here are a little bit too gradual, and I don't want to confuse myself too much in continuing this image. So let's see if we can't do like a three value breakdown of this that works. It's quite a typical beginner and intermediate mistake to not clarify your value composition enough. and to end up with an illustration where there isn't a clear delineation between mid-tone, dark, and light. And so a really good way to avoid this confusion is just to, near the beginning of your illustration process, really carve out those three spaces for your values. Have one layer that's the dark values, have one layer that's the mid-tone values, and one layer that's the lighter values. And then either work from that or just save it off to the side as a diagram so that you know these are the relative values that you need in your piece. Like this character is not going to be a 100% black value, but she is going to be she is going to have some of the darkest values in the scene. I want to pull focus there, so I want to have a lot of contrast there. And also, she is in the shadow and has a darker local value than the background will. Now, the big thing is, I think in a 3-value comp, I think the background is actually going to be dark. All right. Oh my god. My commands aren't working today. And then I'm really interested to see how well this is going to work. I really want to have this knife motif stabbing the guy in the back. Like that's an important part of the composition to me. But it's not going to be an actual knife. It's just going to be like the light shapes that make that shape. Do I ever have a hard time balancing studies with creative projects? Hmm. Yes, the answer to that question is yes, because you said ever, and I can't say no to that. It's not that bad these days. Um, and how do you balance that? I think it's definitely something like do personal projects as much as you need to for your mental health, and then do studies as much as you can while also doing the personal projects as much as you need for your mental health. For me, it's easier to do studies than it is to do personal projects. Um, so I had to learn to push myself to do more personal projects or portfolio projects even. Um, I've come to the conclusion that I just need both. But if anything takes the back seat, it will be the studies. I think the like doing personal art, um, cultivating your love for doing art is more important than doing your studies all the time. Because if you love the craft, you'll come back to those studies eventually. I like the this is like a psychroyasin take. Um, I like the take that if you have something that you want to make, something that you want to create, like a personal project, just do it. And your drive to, like, your desire to make this thing will help you make it better. Will help you on the way learn. Because you'll be like, oh, I can't draw a face that well. Well, let me try and learn two things about how to draw faces better. And then your desire to create something specific actually fuels your desire to learn. Um, and then you get into this stuff where you're like in a project, you realize you have trouble with doing a certain thing, then you go do two studies, and then you return to the project, and that's like a perfect loop because it's very satisfying. You have a problem, you learn to overcome it, you return to the problem, and you do it better than you would have before. But also, it's really good for learning because you apply what you've learned immediately. So if you can get into that space where I really want to make this thing, I think that's a really good way to actually fuel power your studies and your desire to study. What were we doing? That's that. And then the final value is the final value. Hope that that answered your question. Nice, nice, lovely. Hmm. Let's just clean this up a little bit. What's her hair like again? Give me a second, I'll just find my reference document. Where's she at? Where's she at? Yes, here we go. Right. She's got like jagged bangs. Hand? Yeah, we'll draw that better later. And then let's start by making that midtone. And then let's see how that works. Honestly, could be fine. Originally, I wanted to put them on thirds, but I ended up making this decision to push the guy a little bit uncomfortably to the right because I want you to read him first and then later read her. And I think a good way to sort of direct the viewer towards her is by putting him a little bit uncomfortably to the side and going like putting like a bunch of negative space, what will look like negative space but isn't, because then eventually you'll drift over to her and you'll notice, oh, there's somebody in the shadows. That's the idea. So I think this is what I want from like a 3-value composition perspective. Maybe, probably actually, I would like the knife to stand out in value. And now it would be awesome if I could make this shape more reminiscent of the shape of her daggers. If I could mirror. Dude, Gaslight District was insane. What the fuck? How does a thing like that get made? I was so close to not watching it because we said anime and it was definitely not an anime. I don't understand it. I don't understand how it gets made, how like an independent company like that pours so much money into like a YouTube pilot. Yeah, Gaslight's animation, but we were talking about. I feel like we were talking about anime. Um, but I also don't understand how it is so good. Like how the storyboarding, compositions, and animation end up so good. Because I looked at the I looked at the people who did it, and some of them are quite talented. But there's not one person in there who where I'm like, you on your own could make something this good. And I know it's like, oh, greater than the sum of its parts and shit, but I just feel like that doesn't normally happen to this extent. Hey Darmadon, how you doing? And thanks for the compliment. So I think this has the important ideas. Yeah, I really want. I think that was a good solution because she has these razor blades on her knives, and I wanted this shadow shape, this light shape here, to feel like she's stabbing him. So we just put the same razor blades on there, and it mirrors her knife. Who's my favorite character? Oh, oh, I don't know. I think maybe the virtues look really cool. So like discipline the virtue, or maybe like the angel mother was really cool. Like the bird at the top of the tower. That was a pretty cool. That was a pretty cool thing. Pretty cool character. And I don't know. Could we be this cheeky? I don't know, man. Maybe I want to keep them unbroken. Actually, I don't think the highlight down there is bad. I haven't seen Digital Circus. I did notice that there was another thing that also looked somewhat cool. All right, so let's just look at this for a second and feel it out. What's that? Oh, it's the text, right? What did I write here? It was about the set dressing. Crates of crystals, unguarded weapons, sci-fi hallway stuff, maybe a lunch, handheld crate lift. Okay, yeah. stuff that's going to be in the background. Um, just do like this. Call this drawing. And then I just want to feel this one out for a little bit. It's going to be how do I feel about this value composition? Oh, I forgot. Yeah. There's a. Oh, I guess I did get rid of that. I am debating this negative space up here. That's what I'm doing right now. Because I think it's too empty. I think it's distracting how empty it is. I don't know if maybe we could just do that within like have variation here within the realm of dark values, and that would make it enough. I don't know. Maybe. We might need like a continuation of this light here. Oh yes, okay, and that would even be that might just work. Maybe it's that simple. Just continue this light here. So the cast shadow of the barrel, and then continue that light, and then we get out of the problem of having just like the entire left half of the picture be just unbroken darkness. But also maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not a problem. Let's see how it feels later. There's also a solution where Just tilt the image even more. Shit, is that actually a good idea? That might be a good idea. What is the layer that is still that big? Oh, it's the right. It's the drawing. No, it can't be the drawing. Hi, Wally Bear. Hi, how you doing? New guy? Why didn't that work? Huh? Okay, some of them are hidden. Yeah. Put you in drawing. This I think is all outdated. Yes, we're winning. We're winning. Okay, so now the question was, if I just rotate you even more, does that a better image make? It might. That's too much. Yeah, I knew it. I knew that was too much. Okay, that's so close to being perfect. We'll just leave it there for now. Looks sick so far. Thanks. It's a pretty big transform operation I just performed. So now we're waiting for Clip Studio to accept it. What's going on there? Oh, I see. think. Give me a second. Yes. Yes. So what was my thinking here? My thinking is by rotating the canvas further, rotating the crop further, we get way more of like a Dutch angle. Also, from like a 2D composition perspective, I get to have my assassin character higher in the image than my victim. Um, which creates a little bit of like a power dynamic, right? Or at least almost higher in the image than my victim. Um, which I do like that idea. Now I'm thinking maybe we could exaggerate that sort of power dynamic even more. And then let Clip Studio do this big transform action. Huh? Oh, right. I have to. Well, I undid. That wasn't what I meant to do. Give me a second. I want to rotate you. I want to try. I want to try doing more of the same. I want to see how it feels if we go even harder into this Dutch tilt. This, of course, would mean that we need to rotate the entire perspective grid as well. But let's burn that bridge when we get to it. Okay, yeah, no, that doesn't. Oh, right, and I need to tilt the drawing as well. Anyway, What up, twin? Prismomorph. How you doing? Okay, so let's evaluate. I like about this new image that it really has that feeling of like it shows the power dynamic that I want, which is I want her to be on top. I want her to be in control of the situation, right? And this puts her further up in the image. I like that. I like that. Um, that's the pro. That's the pro. Is the power dynamic is more clear in the 2D composition of the image. Um, the pro for this one is it feels more like an assassin, right? It feels more like she's hidden in the shadows. Um, like this feels more combative to me. This feels more like an assassination. I don't know which one I like best. Um, I guess another argument against this version is that it's a very dramatic Dutch angle, and a very dramatic Dutch angle um, makes the action harder to read. It has a little bit of that sense of vertigo, like whoa, what's going on? The argument for this one would be that it's clearer and doesn't have that problem because the Dutch angle isn't as dramatic, but that also means it's not as heightened as this one. Okay, well, food for thought. Good experiment. I don't. Whoa, my lighting fell. Hey, Zig's on the run. I don't immediately know which one I like best, so we'll just save them out and continue the process for now. Hey, how's it going? Pretty good, pretty good. Just finished school. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I like this one a lot, but I think I run the risk of this being too much of a Jacob image and me overcomplicating and pushing too far. And I think this is a simpler, more conventional more marketable image. Like this is taking the risk. This is not taking a risk. And in that sense, I think it might be a better piece for my portfolio right now because I have this tendency. This is how I make my decision this time around. I have this tendency to make images that are just a little bit off, a little bit outside what you would typically see in an actual product. I think we should streamline it a little bit and go with the more classic image. I think that would be better for my portfolio right now. Cool. Which means now we have our 3-value thumbnail. Cool. So just to wrap up that 3-value thumbnail thing, this is where I ended. This is where I ended with my 3-value thumbnail. And I probably won't work from this. What I'll do, what I have done, is I've taken a screenshot of it and dumped it in my reference library, my reference document. And now I will be using this as a diagram moving forward with the image. From here, now I know where I want my brightest values, I know where I want my darkest values, and I know where I want my midtones. And when I finally paint the image, the values won't be this diagrammatical. The lights will have, of course, some variance within them. And the same will be the case with the dark values. There will be some variance within them, but that variance will be within, like everything that's the darkest right now will still be dark in the final image. Everything that's mid-tone will still be mid-tone in the final image. There'll be some value variation, but it'll all be within these 3 categories of dark, light, and mid-tone. And this way I make sure that I don't get confused about my values. I make sure that I don't end up with an image that has confused or muddy values. That's how we use these diagrams, is as a guide for how to proceed. Cool. Now we draw. All right. Um, just changing the music for me. Oh yeah. Hmm. A little bit of a tricky post. Definitely would do better with this one if I had a good reference for it. Give me a second. Not really happy with how that's turning out. And also, she's got that belt. There's something. There's also. I don't really like that cut of the shirt. I like how it looks on the back. It gets to show like she's got this tattoo here. But it feels so empty that it just like, or uninteresting that it just comes down in like a short V. There's got to be a more interesting way to do that. Gonna go. It's 4 a.m. here. Yeah, get your sleep, man. See you some other time. That's better. That's better. Generally, not best practice to be designing while illustrating. Typically, you want to have done the one before you do the other. I didn't quite realize that I hadn't designed the front of her shirt yet. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's my best solution for now. It's just I don't feel I don't like the symmetry of that. Having the same closing mechanism in the front as in the back. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's work on the face. Try that one again. Okay. Something like that. And of course, I drew the outfit on top of the knife here. Okay. If I can at least have like a sketch pass at this character before the end of the day, let's call that our criteria for success. I think that should be quite doable in the next 20 minutes. Now we have the face and the torso, although they're not perfect. It's a start. Oh, yeah. I think that's a slightly long leg. It's a little bit annoying because I don't want it to. I want this little bit of negative space here, so we're gonna have to see if we can't scum the arm around a little bit just to keep that in there. Fifteen minutes, easy, easy money. We've got this shit. How's that look? Better. It still feels a little long, like the leg. Like I have a leg that's this long, and I have a leg that's like that long. And this one is receding in space, so it should be foreshortened. It's a little better. And I have a logo somewhere. This is the logo. It goes like, starts in here, goes out there, goes down like that. Has like a something like that. Something like that. All right, come on. It's knives and it's hand, and then I have at least like a first draft. Right, right. Nope, not fully. There you go. I don't know about the shoulder. The shoulder feels weird. And I think this face is too far out. I don't think your neck is that long. And yeah, I think this her actual shoulder should be further in. And then the shoulder pad sure can go that far out. Definitely better. Okay. Well, I guess it's not like we got nowhere today. We did the three value breakdown. We did one character sketch, making progress. Oh, and I haven't saved this file yet. Holy shit, that would have been bad. Um, all right. I know there's 4 minutes left of the stream, but I'm kind of out of juice for right now, and we've hit a point where it makes sense to stop. I'm not gonna noodle needlessly for 4 minutes, getting nowhere just to just to hit that 11 o'clock mark. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you had a good one. See you in the next one. Until then, have a good one.